Babies need a lot of stuff, and it can feel like you're just buying stuff to buy it. But I want to share with you some things that I think you might want to put on your list. So, let's talk about them. What's up, everyone? I'm Michael. Welcome to Dad Class, the channel that tries to teach you the most helpful things for your current and future parenthood journey. If you want to stay up to date with my latest parenting tips, vlogs, or product reviews, make sure you show that subscribe button a little bit of love, and as always, I will leave any timestamps or product links in the description below. Let's get started. Now, I know as a first-time parent, it can be stressful. You have a new little human to take care of 24/7, and it can feel really overwhelming trying to figure out all the things that you need to buy for them. So, I wanted to share a list of the must-haves that my wife and I found were super helpful when we had our daughter. First up, we're talking electric nail trimmers. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone in the overwhelming fear of trimming your baby's nails, and there have been many times when I just really didn't want to cut my baby's nails because I was afraid that I was going to cut them too short, and that was something that neither my wife or I wanted to do. So, what we ended up doing was we decided to go down the route of an electric nail trimmer, and I can tell you that the decision was honestly great. The one that we ended up going with was this one made by Haka, and it ended up being a really great decision. It has a bunch of different pads ranging from different ages, all from 0 to 3, all the way up to adult. So it was actually really nice because it was something that we could actually use, and that was one of the main reasons we went with this one, which just the included pads had all those different ranges for the different ages. Now, that way with an electric nail trimmer, this has a rotating pad, and it just makes it a lot easier to really guide the trimmer so you're not afraid of cutting your baby's nails too short. I know we have like this type of nail clipper, and you can have that fear of cutting them too short and hurting your baby. So I definitely think something like this, an electric nail trimmer, is a definite pickup. Next is some sort of sound machines. Now, sound machines are great to help your little one relax. And they generally come with a variety of different sounds, like white noise or nature sounds that really, because they're a constant and rhythmic sound, they can help your baby's brain just slowly drift to sleep. The main sound machine that we use is the Hatch Baby Rest, which is great because it comes with a couple of different features that makes it a really good addition for our baby's sleep routine. Now, it emits a glow for a nightlight, which you can control the different color right from an app, along with 11 different built-in sounds on it as well. However, you might not always be able to have the Hatch on you at all times, so that's why I highly recommend that you get some sort of portable sound machine. The one that we use is by Skip Hop, and it's the Stroll and Go. It looks like a little owl. It has 4 sounds, but it has 2 built-in lullabies and 2 nature sounds, which makes it really nice, and it's pretty affordable, and it's a really good alternative to a more expensive sound machine. You can use it as your main one, and your baby's not really going to know the difference, but it's going to help you so you're not really going to break the bank. But it's going to allow your baby to really fall asleep faster, and just a sound machine in general, any one that you can find, is just going to be super helpful in those rough times, and especially when you're on the go. Number 3 on the list is a nasal aspirator, or better known, a nose sucker. Now, there are 2 types of nose suckers that you could go for. You could either get a manual one or an electric one. Now, at first, the manual one sounds really gross, and honestly, we didn't go with the manual one, mostly because me and my wife were against it, just because of the idea of it, but for other reasons, I could see why people go the manual route. Now, it's a straw. It has an end to it that you put into the baby's nose, not really into, more on the edge of the nose after you use the saline drops, and it has a little filter in it that, prevents any of that mucus from coming up the straw, and you just slowly suck on it, and it sucks the mucus right out of your baby's nose. And it's great. It really helps your baby because they don't really understand the idea. You can't just be like, hey, blow your nose. It doesn't really work that way. So there's something that you need to do in order to really help your baby through that really, uncomfortable feeling that they have of having too much congestion. Now, for the electric one, which is the one that we ended up going with, it's great. It does all the same things that the manual one does. Again, you're going to want to use some sort of nasal drop or something before you use this, but This one that we use is great. You just charge it with a USB-C and you turn it on, and there's 3 different types of suction levels. So depending on how much suction you're going to need to get the mucus out of your baby's nose, you change the suction accordingly. But you just turn it on, change the tip. There's 2 different tips that come included with it, and you suck the mucus out, and then you just clean the tips for the electric one. Now, for the manual one, you're going to want to make sure that you replace the filter every single use. So that's where a lot of the cons come from the manual one. You're paying a little bit less of an upfront cost for the manual nose sucker, but you have to pay the extra cost of the filters for all the times that you're going to use it. For the electric one, it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's about 4 times the cost of the manual one, but there's no additional costs. You just take off these parts and you clean them right in the sink and you're good to go. So I would definitely recommend some sort of nose sucker. Having congestion, I'm sure you know, is not comfortable, and for your baby, it's not any less comfortable, and there's no way for them to really do anything about it unless you do something for them. So some sort of nose sucker is definitely a good pickup in my opinion. Next, we're talking about multi-use covers. Now, a lot of times you'll hear these be multi-use covers, 5-in-1 covers, but all they really are is just a cover that's made of like a rayon blend, so they're nice and stretchy and soft. And a lot of the times what they're used for is putting them over your baby's car seat just to kind of keep them protected from, different situations and the outside elements. It's great if it's, raining or snowing or something like that. It just protects your baby from that. But the best part about it is when you're out at the store, sometimes people will come up to you and, oh, your baby's so cute, and we'll look at the carriage and things like that. And I know she's cute, but at the same time, sometimes you want to go to the store and not be bothered and just go out in peace. So having some sort of cover like this is great because it just, protects your baby from that unwanted attention. But it also keeps it dark so they can sleep or play, in peace. This particular one is by Poby Baby. It's a little bit on the more expensive side, but there are plenty of options on Amazon. You can find a bunch of them for relatively cheap. And plus, for these types of things, based on the material and stuff that they're made with, you only need 1, maybe 2 tops, and you can just throw them in the washer and dryer and just keep them nice and clean. But, some sort of multi-use cover, definitely a really good pickup for your newborn and infant. So I would highly recommend getting one. It's definitely a really good choice. Pack and plays are pretty common on most newborn lists, and mine is no different. They are super useful in a ton of different situations. From the moment that you get home from the hospital, they provide a really nice, safe, comfortable place for your baby to sleep, rest, and play. There are a bunch of different colors and patterns that you can get that will match your style, and some pack and plays will come with additional add-ons like a built-in bassinet or changing pad in order for you to have the best on-the-go experience when you're traveling around with the pack and play. For us, we have one that was made by Graco, and it was one that did have the included bassinet and changing pad, but honestly, we didn't use the bassinet or the changing pad at all. We literally just changed our baby and had her sleep in the pack and play right on the mat. It saves you a ton of money to just get a regular pack and play. If you want those additional add-ons, you can get them. It's a really good option if you don't have a bassinet or you don't have a changing pad on the go, but honestly, just changing your baby right on the pack and play mat works just fine. Now, most pack and plays will come with an add-on which has clips on all the sides and rods that you actually just put together, and allows you to put the mat that's normally in the very bottom of the pack and play to about a bassinet height. Now, the bumpers will still be high enough where if your baby isn't up and walking around or anything like that and only still on their back or on their stomach, there's still enough space and height to those bumpers that your baby's not going to roll out, and there's plenty of safety precautions built in there. This is what me and my wife do for our daughter. We transferred her out of her bassinet into the pack and play just because she needed a little bit more room because she was rolling a little bit more and kind of turning around, and it just became an annoyance in the bassinet. and it was waking her up more than we would have liked. So being in the pack and play, it's really great, and plus it's just really nice to be able to move it, and she's already used to sleeping in it. So it's a really good pickup. I would highly recommend just getting some sort of pack and play. You can find them all over Amazon, Graco's website, and there's a ton of other brands that sell them. But if you don't really want to break the bank, a lot of people buy pack and plays and never use them and then sell them on places like Facebook Marketplace. So if you want to get some sort of pack and play for a relatively cheap amount of money without breaking the bank, I would highly suggest looking at like Facebook Marketplace, and it would be a really good pickup for you, and it would definitely help you for on-the-go situations. Now, next up, I want to talk about pajamas, and it might sound like a no-brainer, like, yeah, obviously I want pajamas for my baby, and yeah, you're right. But I want to let you know that not all pajamas are created equal. There are a bunch of different types, but there are two specific types that I really want you to consider, because it's not only going to help your baby's comfortability, but it's also going to help your sanity as well. Now that brings me to my first type, which I think you should highly consider, and those are magnetic pajamas. Now, these are magnetic pajamas. They're magnetic. It's great. And these are super convenient. They just make your life a little bit more easy when you have to change your baby's diaper or change them out of their certain clothes if they spit up or whatever, especially in the middle of the night when you're half asleep. Now, the only con that I would say to these are definitely more expensive than any other type of pajama that you're going to get. A lot of the times you can find magnetic pajamas, and they can be upwards of like $40 just for one pair of these. We only get them when they're on sale, and that's where we got all of ours. And even when they're on sale, they're still anywhere from like $15 to $20 a piece. And you get the convenience of them being magnetic, but that con of them being very, very pricey can make them really hard to swallow for some people when you go to buy them. The specific ones that we got are from Magnetic Me and Bye Bye Baby. Now, you can get them in a lot of different places, but you can probably expect to pay the same price almost anywhere you go for magnetic pajamas. So, if you don't want to pay the price for magnetic pajamas, you can go with the other type that I would highly suggest, and that's zipper pajamas. But not just any zipper pajama. Zipper pajamas, super convenient, also great, probably your third choice. But zipper pajamas with a double zipper is really the key here. You want to make sure it has that double zipper on them, and it will make your life so much easier. The great thing about these is most zipper pajamas, even the double zipper pajamas, are much, much cheaper than the magnetic ones. You lose that little bit of convenience, but it's almost, 4 or 5 times less for the price. You can find a lot of them at Target for like $8, $10 a piece, and they're super convenient. The reason why you want the double zipper and not the single zipper is because the double zipper, you unzip it all the way, you get your baby changed into it, but then the double zipper has one down by their foot. And that makes it so when you go to change your baby in the middle of the night, you just unzip that zipper at their foot, and it makes it a whole lot easier because then you can just unzip it at their foot, take their feet out, change their diaper, zip it back down. You don't have to worry about going up by their neck, pulling the whole thing down, pulling the whole thing around. It just adds that little bit of extra convenience where if you're only changing your baby's diaper, why do you need to fully, expose essentially their whole chest and everything like that by unzipping the pajamas completely? So magnetic pajamas and zipper pajamas, but more specifically double zipper pajamas, are the two types of pajamas that I highly recommend that you look into getting. It'll just save you a little bit of time, and, why not? Another thing that I wanted to quickly mention on this list is changing pads. Now, changing pads are a must-have for when you have a baby because you're inevitably going to have to change your baby in some random places, and that could be at the park, the store, friends or family's houses, really anywhere. Your baby doesn't care, and you're going to need to change them. So some sort of changing pad would really be nice. You can honestly change your baby anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a changing pad, but having a changing pad with a little bit of extra cushion and some extra storage not ever really a bad thing. So I would say that having some sort of portable changing pad is a really nice to have. The one that my wife and I used was one made by Munchkin. It was called the Munchkin Designer Diaper Change Kit. You can buy it right at Target. I think they're like 15 bucks. It's nice. It has a detachable padded changing pad with a mesh pocket that can hold up to 4 large diapers, as well as another little pocket with an included diaper wipes case. And it's really nice. A little bit of extra storage, but yeah, some sort of on-the-go changing pad. Definitely a good pickup if you don't already have one. Next on the list is some sort of diaper pail. Now, I would highly recommend that if you haven't already gotten some type of diaper pail, that you make sure that the one that you're going to get is steel. Make sure you get some sort of steel and not a plastic diaper pail, because I'm sure you will regret it. With the amount of diapers that you put in there, plastic likes to absorb odors, and you will end up smelling the odor of the diaper pail through the plastic over a period of time. By getting steel, you can almost guarantee that it locks in that odor and you're not going to smell it. Now, the Ubi is the diaper pail that my wife and I went with, and it's great. It's, a slim form factor. It has a sliding lid for easy use, so right after you're done changing, you can take the same hand that you have the diaper in, slide it open, toss it in, slide it closed, and then it has a child lock on it, so you just turn it, and it allows you to have that child lock so that your baby isn't getting into there, especially when they can start walking around, moving around, and really getting into stuff. The last thing that you probably want them getting into is the diaper pail. Definitely not the cleanest place to play, I would say. Another really nice thing about the Ubi is that it actually can use regular trash bags as the insert, and you don't have to worry about getting specific types of bags for the pail. I know there's other pails out there that actually require you to get a certain type of bag, and it won't work unless you use those specific types. But with the Ubi, it can be any type of garbage bag that you might already have lying around, which is nice because it can save you a little bit of extra money because you already have them for your regular garbage, and now you can just use it right in the diaper pail as well. So yeah, the Ubi diaper pail, definitely a really nice pickup and addition to your nursery. Now, to finish up the list, I want to talk about car mirrors. Car mirrors are super important in order to be able to keep an eye on your baby while you're driving. You can see them in your rear view through the mirror because they're going to be in a rear-facing seat for a while, and you want to make sure that they're not having any difficulties breathing or anything while sitting. You can find any type of car mirror pretty cheap on Amazon. I would just recommend that if you're going to get one, make sure it's like anti-fog, and it's honestly as big as possible. It's just going to save you a headache down the line. You're not going to have to really worry about making sure it's pointed perfectly at your baby. There's going to be plenty of play with it in order for you to make sure that you have the clearest visibility for your baby. Now, I will say that for the first week we used the car mirror, and then we ended up actually getting rid of the car mirror and transferring to a car monitor. Now, a car monitor is essentially a video mirror, but allows you to have a clear view of your baby, just like a mirror, but on a little monitor up front with you, with the added benefit that it actually has night vision. So that was the biggest problem for us, was that we really couldn't see our baby clearly at night. So we ended up going with a car monitor. The one that we got was by Hosvia. It's a little bit more on the expensive side. You can get them for a little bit cheaper, probably around like $35 on Amazon. As long as you just make sure that it has night vision, it allows you to keep an eye on your baby and have the clearest visibility of your little one while you're driving. So that concludes my list of my recommended must-haves for newborns. I hope you liked the video. I just wanted to be able to share what I thought would be really helpful for new parents. I know it can be a lot to make sure that you have every single little thing that you need for your baby, but hopefully this helped get a little bit more info on something that you may have already thought about getting and just didn't have enough info on it, or this might have given you a little bit of insight on stuff that you were like, oh man, I didn't even know I needed that. So I know that it can be overwhelming, but just know it's going to be fine. You're going to get through it and you will figure it out. Don't worry. If there was something that I missed on this list that you just thought I couldn't have made it through the newborn phase without, let me know in the comments down below. I'm genuinely curious about what other parents might have used in order to make it through, because I know that everybody is different and the different things that babies like and things that make your life easier is different between everybody. I hope you liked the video. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I make a whole lot more of these videos, and it really helps my channel. I post a lot of parenting tips, vlogs, and product reviews, as well as on my other socials found here. So I hope you found the video useful, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.